I started like jotting down notes for this around like 11 p.m. and now it's like 4 in the morning. Welcome back, or hi for the first time if you're new here. You clicked on the video, so I'm going to assume that your IQ is higher than your age. And you already know that today we're going to talk about EverQuest. And we're going to talk about all of them. Well, I'm going to talk and hopefully make some sense. Before I begin to run my mouth about EQ, I want to talk about the MMO genre for just a tick. MMOs are, well, they're a long-term investment. At least that is the desired goal of the developers. They want you to become hooked to their game and hopefully spend the remainder of your unforeseeable future logging in to said game. This is a weird recipe for the modern MMO developer. And to be completely honest, the ingredients that developers are using nowadays just keep getting fucking worse. Limited time tactics, battle passes, micros, and all these things are there to transform the would-be players and fan base into pay pigs, almost as if the goal has strayed away from the oceans of making an amazing game, and it's drifted into the test-your-wallet waters of adventure. Now, I'm not here to shit on modern MMOs. Trust me, they shit the bed all by themselves. I don't need to stand on the sidelines and point my finger at the dookie stains. We all know that they're there. But I think that a lot of these modern MMO tactics are why a lot of fans of the genre, including myself, are slowly stepping backwards to MMOs before all of this shit was considered the norm. This desire to play classic MMOs has made a lot of developers create classic versions of their game, from World of Warcraft to RuneScape and also EverQuest, which happens to be our topic of discussion for today's therapy session. EverQuest is a game that is divided, and a divided game can also by default create a divided community. Now, EverQuest could be spliced into quite a few pieces, but for simplicity's sake, I'm going to be talking about 3 versions of EverQuest: Project 1999, Quarm, and finally Live EverQuest. Now, before we get too deep...
Tell them to like the video.
What?
Yeah, we beg for likes now. Just try it. Just do it. Come on, do it. It's gonna feel so good to say it out loud.
Like the video.
Yes, that was amazing. Good job. Okay, go ahead. Keep going, go.
Anyway, as I was saying, this is just my opinion. I'm not outsourcing other creators or taking any polls. I'm just one 40-year-old nerd who loves EverQuest. And, I want to rant for a while about a game that I love. So if you're that insufferable ding-dong in the comments, who wants to spread hate and be a dipshit, try to at least use complete sentences and articulate an entire fucking thought.
I'm a tornado!
Okay, let's talk about EverQuest. I want to start with Project 1999, and I want to begin here because P99 is the closest thing to classic EverQuest. It offers a picture in time, a snapshot of EQ with all of its nostalgic bells and whistles. This is old school EverQuest in its rawest form. It is here where someone can retrace their steps with all of the charms of EverQuest in its origins. Project 1999 has, as far as I'm aware, 3 servers: red, blue, and green. And most of them have run their course over the years, and they've built a solid and loyal fan base. And the folks over at P99 are good people. At least, I never had any problems. These fellas love what EverQuest was. They are the fans of EverQuest without change or implementation for quality of life fixes, and are in love with the game in its oldest form. They like what they like. Fuck, I like what they like. Classic EverQuest, man. Project 1999 has top-tier raiding guilds and casual guilds. There are groups to be had, there are friends to be made, and it's all wrapped up in that classic Christmas paper that your nana used when you were a wee lad. This is EverQuest from the past, and I by no means mean this in a bad way. Their community is fiercely loyal to the servers, and they have some great content creators who've covered some amazing journeys and told the tales of EverQuest of yore. And if you are a fan of EQ, it's hard not to watch and not feel the draw of nostalgia. Also, they are the reason the P99 wiki exists, so yeah, bravo guys. And that very same nostalgia is what led me to play on Project 1999 in the first place, after it was recommended in the comments of one of my past live streams of Live EverQuest. So let's talk about my time on Project 1999. I made an Ixar Shadow Knight on P99 Green server, and after waging a war that is the EverQuest user interface, I hit the ground running. I met a bunch of low-level Ixar, was handed free shit from another player, and there was even a guild posted outside in the Field of Bone dedicated to recruiting young Ixar to their ranks, and they were passing out buffs to help the newbies in the zone. It was, by all rights, a badass first encounter with this fantastic version of the game. I was awash with dopamine and nostalgia for a game that stole my heart as a kid. But, in my humble opinion, nostalgia, albeit a fine tool to draw a player back to a game, isn't enough to keep them there or make them want to log back in day after day. That nostalgic dopamine will fade once you begin to uncover the shit show that EverQuest can become at times. Corpse runs, playing a class that can't solo well, struggling to find groups, and the overall difficulty that classic EverQuest presents. EverQuest on P99 is, in my opinion, EverQuest hard mode. And I tip my hat to the people over there on the P99 server who have been roughing it all Bear Grylls style in the dangerous slopes of Norath. So, if I hold P99 in such regard, why don't I play there? This is actually a really simple answer. The classic camera sucks ass. It has nothing to do with the server itself. I like to play in third person, I like to rotate the camera for cinematic shots, and it's a nice tool to have when crafting a narrative-driven story. And that's it. That's why I moved to Quorum. So let's talk about Quorum, P99's smart-ass little brother, and my preferred location to play EverQuest. If Project 1999 is a stitch-in-time EverQuest, I would say that Quorum is EverQuest Plus. Project Quorum has a lot of player quality of life perks, with the Zeal program and whatever other shiny doodad secrets and her team have whipped up to make the moment-to-moment experiences of Quorum EQ more enjoyable. Now, there are players that believe that these quality of life perks, or whatever you want to call them, bastardize EverQuest. I like the camera options that Zeal offers. I like the Duxie UI paired with Zeal, which allows me to see my hit points and mana as numbers rather than just a red and blue line. And I'm sure there are many more QOLs that make the server more enjoyable for one person to the next. And although I wouldn't call Quorum the true classic EverQuest experience, it's classic enough for me. As I've already gushed over before, the community of Quorum is great. There are a lot of events held by secrets in the mini guilds of Quorum. Speaking of which, shameful plug, my guild, Former Glory, is hosting something called a halfling race here soon. I think that's what it's called. Where people all create a level 1 halfling and have like a rat race across Norath. I don't know the exact date or have any details, so Tevin or Talamald, if you happen to be watching this, hit up the comments with that info and I'll pin it if people are interested in joining the festivities. What I'm getting at is that there always seems to be some community-based bullshit happening or coming soon to Quorum. It feels alive every time I log in. I know I'm a content creator, so my experience with Quorum may vary from yours, but I promise you, if you log into Quorum and you send Tevin a tell, that's Tevin, he will respond. He loves all the attention my videos have brought him, and he can't wait to hear from you directly. Quorum's biggest issue is a lot of its content creators are all fucking barbarian shamans.
But besides that, just playing on Project Quorum, I made a barbarian shaman.
Decius here is a great content creator and creeping up on 1K subscribers, guys. Get over there and help a fellow EverQuester hear that sweet ding noise.
So yeah, I'm gonna be playing on Quorum. I'll be rolling a fresh barbarian shaman.
As for DWG, I was introduced to his content shortly after releasing episode 2 of my time in Quorum. The video quality of this guy's content and the humor is top tier, and I can't wait to see what you have planned this time around. This is my barbarian shaman, Destin. Oh, fucking skip. There you go, secrets. Have another nickel. Anyway, if you couldn't tell, I love the Project Quorum server. It is a new and refreshing way to trek Norath. I know that there are concerns about the continued updates and QOL changes altering the game to where it is no longer considered classic EverQuest. But I don't think that classic EQ was holistically the goal in Quorum's birth. I think an amazing gaming space on an emulator server where people can come together and play EverQuest Plus is closer to the truth. And I have faith in Project Quorum. Secrets and the Project Quorum team have done an amazing job so far. As for detailing my time on Quorum, it's been fantastic and way too long for me to regurgitate here. I have a whole narrative video series dedicated to it. Check it out if you haven't already. So I guess it's time to talk about live EverQuest. And no, I'm not here to bash the live service. It's actually the only official game amongst the three. Both Quorum and Project 1999 could both shut down and fall into obscurity at any given moment. I don't know how to run a private EQ server. Is there like some old dude in a basement somewhere pedaling a bike to keep these fuckers running? What do I know? I mean, what's stopping official EverQuest from raining down the ban hammer and putting a stop to these projects? I bet they have better lawyers than both P99 and Quorum combined, but they are cool with allowing these servers to do their thing. Furthermore, it's taking people away from the live service and possibly stopping people from spending money on EverQuest subscriptions to play on whatever shiny new time lock progression server that they've cooked up. And this is the very reason I continue to pay for live EverQuest. No, not because I'm afraid that they're going to put a stop to the emulator servers. Also, I'm no lawyer. I have no idea any of the legalities involved with running an emulator server of a 25-year-old game. But I pay for an EQ subscription, even though I rarely ever play on the live servers. It's my personal little thank you to the EQ team. It's a pittance in their bank account to be sure, but I appreciate the fact that live EQ allows these servers to exist. If P99 is a stitch-in-time EverQuest and Quorum is EverQuest Plus, I suppose that makes live EQ modern EQ. Now, of the three EverQuests, anyway, I have the biggest issues with live, and these are all just me issues, so please untwist your, well, actually, panties and settle the fuck down. For me, whether it's an up-to-date server or current server such as Firion of I or the newest TLP, Teak, or Tormax, for starters, it just doesn't look like EverQuest to me anymore. I'm not a fan of the newer models. I hate the new player experience on the current servers. You know, the doom and gloom kobold bullshit. There's mercenaries, overpowered gear, and the Bethesda cart ride from one zone to the next. It just doesn't feel like EverQuest to me. And when a game doesn't resonate with you, you'll leave. But I didn't want to abandon live EQ so quickly, so I started playing on the TLPs. My TLP journey began on Oakwind. I made a druid and I played alone for almost the entire time I was there. Now, to be fair, they had already reached the Plains of Power expansion, and the server felt a little top-heavy by the time I arrived. And every time I saw someone, they had like 2 or more characters following them around and had like 0 interest in grouping. And that's fine, play the game the way that you want to play. But I'm gonna do the same. And when your world feels like a fucking ghost town, I'm gonna abandon ship because I was bored, and I'm not a fan of boxing multiple characters. Fuck, I can barely play one character. There's no way I'm going to be able to handle a team of characters. So I left, and this is what led me to Quorum. But I decided to give live another shot when Teak arrived on scene, and it was populated to be sure. I made a Wood Elf Rogue and decided to have some fun with the Going Postal questline. And, you know, make like the mailman of Kelathan. I know I'm a fucking idiot. Except Retail EQ has given the fuck Johnny to every repeatable quest that I came across. And that just sucks. So after a session or 2 on Teak, I left live behind for a second time. Now I have been playing on Teak here recently. My son and brother play on Teak and asked if I would like to join the adventure, so I made a human monk and I've enjoyed my time playing with them. But that has more to do with them than the actual server. Day 1 of playing with them on Teak, we were trolled by a high-level magician, yeah, fucking imagine that, who wanted to use our camp to power level some 10 fuckers they had auto-following him. He went as far as to have his pet kill anything I attacked and tried to bully us out of the camp. Now, one player does not a community make, so I have nothing bad to say about the community of Teak. But just like in all places of the world, there be assholes. It just sucked that we found one so quickly. Also, power leveling is a big thing on Teak. This shit is going to flood your screen at all times, and it's tedious to ignore all the ding-dongs trying to whore out their leveling prowess. There is also the chrono debacle, where people farm like money camps and inflate chronos on the server. Look, I'm not about to pretend that I know how all of that works, and to be honest, I could give a fuck. It's dumb, it sounds dumb, it looks dumb, so I'm going to skip all that crap because I'm not very informed on the matter, nor do I care. Many of the TLPs also allow boxing, or playing multiple instances of the game at the same time. Some people only play this way, and if that tickles your giggle stick, man, go nuts, you nerd. And for the most part, I'm not bothered by all of the boxing. It is only an issue when people use it to try to take over another camp, or, can't control their team and train a menagerie of monsters to us solo guys. I know all this sounds bad, and with all of that aside, I have fun playing on Teak with my son. He prefers this version of EverQuest, and that's fine. It's just at the bottom of the 3 EQs in my opinion. But Live EverQuest is for the people who enjoy boxing multiple characters. They want to play the chrono game, or they want to see just how far EverQuest has come, or that's where their friends and family members play. They've made friends there, and as far as I'm concerned, it's okay if you call Live EverQuest your MMO home. I also still watch other EQ creators who play on Live. Zaid's lore videos are fantastic. Ion Blaze is a great storyteller, and there's probably a lot more that I'm not aware of. So I guess my point to all this is that we are all EverQuesters. Project 1999, Quorum, or Live. We all share a love for the version of the game that we prefer. EverQuest may be a game divided, but that doesn't mean that we have to be a community divided. It's okay to celebrate a great Zaid God lore story on Live, or enjoy watching Cine Cool on Project 1999 as he rates the classes of EQ. It's okay to click on classic EverQuest videos and fall asleep to his Ranger series, or the adventures of Perry Lovewhistle and enjoy his wizarding antics. As far as I'm concerned, whatever version of EverQuest that scratches your adventure itch is fine by me. Okay, I guess that's all I have to, say on the subject for tonight. Take care of your main character out there, guys. Real life is an MMO. As always, a massive thank you to my channel members, Oracle of Dawn, Sadoon Dines, Mox Dragon, Mr. Goldsmith, good old Tim, God damn, Choppy08, and my brother Zombie. Thank you guys for your support and love. Membership to the channel only costs $1 and access more of a way to support the channel than anything else. Also, if you managed to finger that subscribe button during all this crap, I appreciate you. Goodbye.